What if I told you the single most audacious penalty in World Cup history was taken by a player against the very country he was born in? This is the story of a journey fueled by sacrifice, defined by identity, and sealed with a moment of ice-cold genius. And if you believe football is so much more than just a game, make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell because you won't want to miss the legends we uncover here. In the concrete, sun-drenched sprawl of Getafe, a city that breathes in the industrial hum of southern Madrid, a story of relentless, unstoppable forward momentum was just beginning. This was the world that welcomed Achraf Hakimi, born on the 4th of November, 1998. He was a son of Spain, yes, but he was also a son of Morocco, a child of two worlds who was destined to conquer a third, the world of elite football. The architects of his dream, the true foundation of his entire career, were his parents Hassan and Saida. Theirs is a story of quiet courage. They journeyed from a small, humble village near Casablanca in Morocco, leaving behind everything they knew, a life of limited prospects for the grueling, often thankless, unforgiving work of Madrid's industrial engine. Hassan became a street vendor, Saida a cleaner. Their life was a testament to quiet sacrifice, a daily relentless fight against the current, all to build a platform, a chance for their children. They came from areas where there is hardly any work. Hakimi would later reflect the weight of their struggle, the love, the gratitude forever etched in his voice. They had to fight enormously hard. Today I fight every day for them. I have no words to describe my parents. And from this foundation of pure grit, a footballer began to grow. The young Achraf was a blur of kinetic energy, a constant whir of motion with a football that seemed magically glued to his feet. His very first pitches weren't pristine grass, but the parks and paved streets of Getafe. His first club was the local side CD Colonia Offigevi. It was right here in these humble, honest beginnings that the raw materials of a future superstar were first forged, that blistering, almost unbelievable pace. An innate, uncoachable desire to surge forward and a hunger for success that mirrored the fight he saw in his parents every single day. It wasn't long, of course, before the biggest club in the world came calling. At just 8 years old in 2006, a scout's report landed on a desk at Real Madrid. The name on it was Achraf Hakimi. For a young boy from a modest immigrant family living in the long shadow of the glorious Santiago Bernabeu, the invitation to join La Fabrica, the club's famed youth academy, was more than a dream. It was like receiving a golden ticket to another universe. It was the start of a long, arduous, and utterly transformative journey. La Fabrica. The factory is a crucible. It's a dream factory with a ruthless heart. It takes the most talented boys from Spain and across the globe and attempts to smelt them into champions, subjecting them to immense, unimaginable pressure and ferocious competition. And Hakimi, with his quiet determination and tireless work ethic, thrived. He progressed steadily, relentlessly through the age groups. With each passing year, his identity as a flying, attacking fullback became sharper, more defined. He wasn't just a defender. That was only half the story. He was a winger in disguise, a constant outlet, a devastating weapon waiting to be unleashed. His talent was undeniable, but it was under the watchful eye of a true Real Madrid legend, José María Gutiérrez, the one and only Guti, with the juvenile A under-19 team, that he truly began to explode. Guti, a player celebrated for his sublime vision and audacious, almost arrogant creativity, saw a kindred spirit in Hakimi's attacking fire. He didn't try to contain it. He encouraged it. "Go Achraf, go own that wing," you could imagine him yelling. He polished the boy's defensive awareness, yes, but he instilled in him the supreme confidence to express himself, to take risks, to be brave. The bond they formed was deep, a connection of mutual respect that would last for years. Long after, as an established global star, Hakimi would seek out his old mentor after a match just to hand him his jersey, a small token for an invaluable education. The final step in the academy is Real Madrid Castilla, the club's reserve team. Here in the harsh proving grounds of Spain's lower leagues, Hakimi became a standout performer, proving to everyone he was ready for a much greater challenge. That challenge finally arrived on October 1st, 2017. With the undisputed first-choice right-back, Dani Carvajal, sidelined with a health issue, the manager Zinedine Zidane, a man who knows the soul of Real Madrid and the value of promoting from within, made the call. He handed Achraf Hakimi his senior debut against Espanyol at the Bernabeu. The dream. The dream his parents had fought so desperately for the reason for every long day and sleepless night was finally beautifully realized. A boy from Getafe, the son of Moroccan immigrants, was playing for Real Madrid. He would go on to make 17 appearances that season, even scoring his first 2 goals for the club he'd idolized. He was part of the squad that lifted the 2017-18 UEFA Champions League trophy, becoming the first Moroccan player in history to do so. Yet the reality of life at the absolute pinnacle of club football is brutally harsh. In front of him was the formidable world-class Carvajal. Behind him, a queue of other prodigious talents, all desperate for their chance. For his development to continue, for the boy to become a man, Hakimi needed to play. He needed to be tested week in, week out. He needed to leave the nest. And that presents such a huge dilemma for a young player. What would you have done in his shoes? Stay and fight for the badge at Real Madrid, the club of your dreams, or take a leap of faith and leave to become the star you know you can be? It's a tough one. Let me know your honest thoughts down in the comments. In the summer of 2018, a 2-year loan deal was agreed with Borussia Dortmund. It was a move that would fundamentally change the trajectory of his career, transforming him from a promising youngster into a world-class, unstoppable force. Germany, and specifically the tactical philosophy of coach Lucien Favre, proved to be the perfect catalyst for Hakimi's explosive talent. Favre's system, which often shifted between a 3-4-3 and a 4-2-3-1, gave Hakimi one simple instruction: attack. Whether he was playing as a wingback or a more traditional fullback, his role was crystal clear: use your searing God-given pace to completely dominate the right flank. He was no longer just a supporting actor in a star-studded cast. He was a protagonist. And the fans at the Westfalenstadion, the breathtaking, imposing yellow wall, they fell in love instantly. This whirlwind of a player who defended with a fierce tenacity and attacked with a speed that left you breathless. His time in the Bundesliga was a living highlight reel. There were the lung-busting Ibodiurn, 80-yard sprints from his own box to the opponent's. There were the pinpoint, perfectly weighted cutbacks for his teammates. And there were the crucial, game-changing goals. He didn't just look fast, he was officially the fastest. He shattered Bundesliga speed records at one point, being clocked at a staggering 36.49 kilometers per hour. A human bullet train in yellow and black. He showcased his incredible versatility too, filling in at left back even as an out-and-out winger when needed, his technical security and comfort on his weaker foot, making him a constant, unpredictable threat. But it was on the grandest stage of all, the Champions League, that he truly announced his arrival to the world. In a tense group stage match away to Slavia Prague, he took control, scoring both goals in a vital 2-0 victory. Weeks later, he produced an even more stunning performance, scoring a brilliant second-half brace to inspire a legendary comeback win from 2-0 down against Inter Milan. This was no longer just a promising fullback. This was a certified match winner. He had proven himself on the biggest stages, a certified superstar in the making. But his journey was far from over. A new challenge, a new league, and a notoriously demanding coach awaited. To see how he conquered Italy and became a legend, make sure you're subscribed, because the stories we tell on Legends of Football League are all about these incredible winding paths to greatness. In 2 seasons with Dortmund, he registered 12 goals and 17 assists, absolutely phenomenal numbers for a defender. He had grown physically stronger, tactically smarter, and mentally tougher. He had flown the nest and learned how to soar. The entire world had taken notice. But a triumphant return to Madrid was not on the cards. Real Madrid, still possessing Carvajal and in need of funds after the global pandemic, saw their academy product as a valuable asset to be sold. Hakimi, in turn, wanted to be a guaranteed starter, a key man, not a backup. A new chapter awaited him in Italy. In July of 2020, Inter Milan paid a reported $40 million for Hakimi's services. It was a massive statement of intent from the Italian giants and their famously demanding coach, Antonio Conte. If Dortmund was the perfect place for Hakimi to find his attacking freedom, then Inter under Conte was where he would complete his footballing education, mastering the brutal tactical discipline required of an elite wingback in one of the world's toughest leagues. Conte's 3-5-2 system is notoriously rigorous, especially for the wingbacks. They are required to provide the team's entire width in both attack and defense. It's a lung-busting, gut-wrenching role. Initially, Conte was tough on his new star recruit. He has potential, the coach warned the media, but he has to work a lot on the defensive phase. In Italy, there are pressures, expectations, and demands that are much higher than in Germany. Hakimi responded to the challenge. He absorbed Conte's tactical instructions like a sponge, learning precisely when to surge forward and when to hold his position dramatically, improving his defensive positioning and awareness without sacrificing a single ounce of his offensive output. He formed a devastating partnership with striker Romelu Lukaku. Their connection became a cornerstone of Inter's attack. It was like lightning and thunder. Hakimi, the lightning, would stretch the play down the right, while Lukaku, the thunder, would dominate in the center, the two feeding off each other's explosive movement and power. He became an indispensable, irreplaceable part of a team that stormed to the 2021 Serie A title, the Scudetto ending Juventus's 9-year reign of dominance in Italian football. In his single incredible season in Milan, he contributed 7 goals and 11 assists, proving that his attacking prowess could thrive even in the famously tactical and defensive-minded Serie A. He had won a second league title in as many years in a second different country. Yet once again, his stay would be cut short. Financial instability gripped Inter, forcing them to sell their most prized assets. And Achraf Hakimi was right at the top of that list. The summer of 2021 saw another blockbuster move, this time to the glittering lights of Paris Saint-Germain. For a fee north of $60 million, he was now officially at a club of global superstars, sharing a dressing room with Neymar, Kylian Mbappé, and soon the one and only Lionel Messi. It was the glamorous next step, a chance to compete for the ultimate prize, the Champions League, with one of the most talented squads ever assembled. Life in Paris has been a mix of glittering success and intense, unrelenting scrutiny. He has been a consistent starter, winning back-to-back League One titles and adding more silverware to his impressive and growing trophy cabinet. He found a home in the city, a place he described as pure magic. And he developed a particularly potent on-field relationship with his close friend Kylian Mbappé. Their combined, terrifying speed on the right flank became a recurring nightmare for opposition defenses. But it is perhaps on the international stage, wearing the vibrant red and green of Morocco, that Achraf Hakimi has crafted his most enduring and emotional legacy. Remember, he was born in Madrid. He was eligible to represent Spain. He even trained with their youth teams as a teenager. But his heart, His soul always belonged to the land of his parents. "I didn't feel at home," he said honestly of his time with the Spanish setup. "It wasn't for anything in particular, but for what I felt because it wasn't what I had at home, which is the Arab culture, being Moroccan." He chose Morocco, and in doing so he became a powerful symbol for a generation of diaspora kids, a beacon of hope and immense pride for an entire nation. He was their superstar, their hometown hero from a foreign land. This profound connection reached its absolute zenith at the 2022 FIFA World Cup in Qatar. Under the inspirational management of Walid Regragui, another product of the diaspora, who understood this dual identity, Morocco embarked on a magical, unbelievable journey that captivated the entire world. They were a team built on tactical astuteness, unwavering defensive solidity, and a ferocious, unbreakable spirit of togetherness. And Hakimi was central to it all, a leader on and off the pitch. They topped a group containing Croatia and Belgium, then faced Spain, the country of Hakimi's birth, in the round of 16. The game was a tense, cagey, attritional affair, finishing 0-0 and heading to the gut-wrenching drama of a penalty shootout. It was a moment of immense historical and deeply personal weight. After Spain missed their third consecutive penalty, it all fell to Hakimi. He had to take the kick that could send Morocco to the World Cup quarter-finals for the first time in their history and the first time for any Arab nation. He placed the ball on the spot. The weight of two nations rested squarely on his shoulders. He looked at the Spanish goalkeeper, Nye. Simone took a short, calm run-up, and with an audacity that bordered on divine arrogance, he chipped the ball gently, lovingly, down the middle of the goal. A Panenka. It was a moment of supreme confidence, of ice-cold nerve, a beautiful gesture that announced Morocco's arrival on football's biggest stage. The stadium erupted. The world erupted. Hakimi and his teammates had made history. The celebration that followed became one of the tournament's most iconic images. Hakimi rushed to the stands to find his mother Saida. He hugged her, kissed her forehead, and she pulled his face into her hands, her eyes filled with a pride that words could never capture. It was a tender, beautiful, perfect moment. A tribute to the sacrifices she and his father had made, a journey come full circle from the streets of Getafe to the absolute pinnacle of world football. If that moment between a son and his mother doesn't capture what this sport is all about, I don't know what does. Morocco's fairy tale run would eventually end in the semi-finals against his PSG teammates in France. But they had won the hearts of millions and established themselves as a true footballing power. Away from the pitch, Hakimi's life has had its own complexities. His marriage to actress Hiba Abouk, with whom he has 2 sons, ended in a high-profile divorce in 2023. The separation became a subject of intense media speculation, particularly around financial arrangements and reports that Hakimi's assets were held in his mother's name, a testament to their incredibly close bond, but also a source of public controversy. In early 2023, he also faced a serious legal challenge when he was given preliminary charges in France following an accusation of rape. Hakimi has strongly denied the allegations, with his lawyers stating he was the subject of an extortion attempt. The case remains a significant off-field cloud as the legal process continues. Yet through all the incredible highs and the difficult lows, Hakimi has also sought to use his platform for good. He established the Achraf Hakimi Foundation, a charitable organization focused on providing opportunities for children in Morocco through education, sports, and personal development. It is his way of giving back, of ensuring that the next generation has the tools to chase their own dreams, just as he once did. The story of Achraf Hakimi is a whirlwind of relentless forward motion. It's a story of migration and sacrifice, of a journey from the industrial outskirts of Madrid to the glittering lights of Paris. It's the story of a player who helped redefine the role of a fullback, a weapon of pure pace and precision, who has conquered leagues in Germany, Italy, and France. More than anything, it is the story of a national hero who, with one audacious, beautiful chip of a football, lifted a nation, a continent, and his family to its feet. From the concrete courts of Getafe to the grandest stadiums on earth, Achraf Hakimi has never stopped running forward, carrying the dreams of his parents and the heart of a nation with every single powerful stride. And that's the whirlwind story of Achraf Hakimi. What a ride. I'm buzzing just telling it. Now I really want to hear from all of you. What was the defining moment of his journey for you, that Panenka? The hug with his mother, the brave choice to play for Morocco. Please drop all your thoughts, your opinions, your favorite moments, and any questions you still have in the comments below. This community is the absolute best part of this channel, and I truly can't wait to read what you think.